Welcome friends to another Dune video. Today we look at Jessica Atreides and an attempt on her life by her daughter Alia. How does that work out for them both? Friends, let's find out. Spoilers for Children of Dune throughout. Jessica wonders why Alia has invited her to a morning audience. Jessica sees Javid, who we learn is Alia's man, and Jessica knows about that. She feels despite no guards she's safe, as Alia will not dare martyr her here. Jessica wore the abba of a reverend mother, and supplicants came in. By being there, she was shaking the regent's power. Jessica felt right with this mission from the Bene Gesserit, and lets Javid know. She gets daily reports of everything that happens on Arrakis, including the preacher. Through speaking with him, Jessica realises his voice contained the husky undertones of a lover to Alia, and Jessica suspects that Alia might willingly be taking part in abomination. Jessica realises she had lived in a bubble of peace on Caladan. Alia entered, they see a troubadour, and Alia says Jessica will render this judgment. He plays for Jessica, who says in firm terms that if he plays just right, she will send him to the Carinos. The song goes on, and at one point Alia wants it to end, but Jessica says stop with the right pitch of voice to avoid confrontation whilst gaining full attention, and Alia sinks back into her seat. And after hearing the performance, Jessica decides this performer can go to Faradin and the other Carinos. Alia protests, as in the song, he criticises her. He called her a Coantine, a femal death spirit that walked without feet. Jessica sweetly says Alia keeps around her only people who say what she wants to hear. The troubadour admits to testing the Atreides' honour with his words, and so mother and daughter move to the next supplicant. Jessica noted Alia's reaction here, that the meeting had not gone her way, and with her preborn memories, it did not make sense that Alia would misjudge her mother's reaction in the matter of the troubadour. This supplicant was a Fremen, who says he was one of Muad'Dib's death commandos, a matter of the desert, Jessica thinks, and understands this was not what the man had said to get an entrance, but it was what he was saying now. Jessica then sees Alia signal with the old Atreides battle language, and what it was said there was now. Jessica could not determine where the signal was directed, but acted instinctively with a lurch to the left. Taking throne and all, she rolled away from the crashing throne as she fell, came to her feet as she heard the sharp spat of a Mauler pistol, and again, but she was moving with the first sound, felt something tug at her right sleeve. She dove into the throng of supplicants and courtiers gathered below the dais. Alia, she noted, had not moved. And amongst those people, Jessica stops, noticing Al-Fali had moved the other way, whilst Alia and her ally had not moved, and so exposed themselves. And Jessica sees 4 people holding the priest official, who had a Mauler pistol, and then the Fedaykin knocks out this threat to her with a single blow. This man, an old Nabe, thinks that he was the target. Jessica notes there is a hole in her sleeve. It had come very close to ending her life. Jessica says she wants the priest for questioning and uses voice to reach him and say to the Nabe they were after her, and then the Nabe moves to cover her back because he has seen a danger. A city Fremen makes the call for the death stills to come, but Jessica sees through this woman and her hollow attempt to cloak herself in the old ways. This creature of Alia's had killed the priest so he could not talk. Jessica says to Alia, where has the Mauler pistol gone? Alia says one of her guards has it, and Jessica presses that it be given to her. But Alia says the guard has already taken it away, and Jessica mentions that this is very convenient, and says that her ruling is that because Alia's people let the guard die, they must die also. Alia forbids it, and with the threat settled, Jessica asks the Fedaykin why he's there. He has come representing that group to see her. Alia tries to cut in, and Jessica openly calls her an abomination and says she had tried to have her killed, and ends with, your guilt is written in your actions. Then Jessica reads in Alia a familiar movement in her hands, an old enemy of the Atreides. The movement is little finger twice, index finger 3 times, ring finger twice, little finger once, ring finger twice, and back through, tapping in the same order. It was the old Baron, and a gloating smile came to Alia's lips, and Jessica thinks Alia will suspect possession will get back to the sisterhood, and she will be forced into a trial. Jessica deals with the old neighbour first, who says the Fremen have abandoned the desert. Jessica says the danger is if the worms go. He tells Jessica of the changes of plants on Arrakis and how it's affecting the environment. Alia says they do what her brother and Liet-Kynes wanted, but Jessica comes back with that they can't forget the desert. Her Fremen memories come to Jessica. It says Alia would destroy her family and the Sandworms are doomed unless that changes. And with this revelation, Jessica saw the people in the audience who had been ordered to make sure she did not leave alive. And the thing called Alia did not care if she died and became a martyr. Alphali's voice had been like a distrance to Jessica's soul, awakening a beast from the deepest part of her, and she saw a way to both save the Nabe and use him as a messenger. Jessica says silence, then she says she is still Fremen and to support the Nabe, and how the changes in Arrakis are out of control, but her daughter enjoys it, acknowledging what her daughter is to all the people there, both her allies possibly, and the people that Alia has planted. And then Jessica lays out what will happen with Alia in charge. Alia spoke in the Atreides' private language, Chakobsa. Alia says, with what had been done to her, she'd only asked what the Baron would have done, and he had answered and understood. And Jessica knew her daughter was an abomination, possessed by the Baron, and Jessica says, Fedakeen, follow me. It turned out there were 6 Fedakeen in the room, and 5 of them won through behind her, and so she escapes. So now, friends, I turn things over to you. I absolutely love here Jessica reading all the people, putting all the things together from her ability to read people. Really enjoyed making this into a video. I hope you enjoyed it too. If you've got any comments to make, drop me one down below.